CS2 hasn't had a significant update from Valve since May 23rd, the fire sale update that changed prices of some CT utilities, changed Vertigo A site, and allowed renting cases. It wasn't even that big of an update. Since then, they haven't really given us much, so today, let's address all the issues that we currently have. Number 1, bugs in the game. Almost 1 year after the game's release, Valve have finally addressed some of the bugs. For starters, in the recent update, dead players are no longer allowed to pick up ground weapons. Maybe the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in the patch notes. This was a bug since day one. You could die with the bomb, for example, and pick it up as you were dying, and then none of your teammates could bring it, as you just bring it into the afterlife with you. It was really bad. Number 2, the restricted upward movement of a player when a teammate is boosted on their head. Another bug that was in the game since day one where you'd be bouncing up and down when doing a simple 2-man boost, and it took a year to fix. You'd think it'd be incredibly easy to fix, but I guess not. Not only did it take absolute ages, it then gave us this other problem where you could just have a teammate floating and boost like that, and this was in the game, thankfully for only a few hours, but it's like, how does that happen? It doesn't even feel like Valve playtests their game. It's like Valve doesn't care at all. Another issue is just general rubber banding and input delay. Everybody has experienced walking next to a teammate in spawn, getting close to them, and then just rubber banding back. It's horrible. Been in the game since day one. It's gotten slightly better, but it's still significantly bad and was not an issue in CSGO. And of course, pros have been taking note of this as well. This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, SkinsMonkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. SkinsMonkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, SkinsMonkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description. Shock stating that yesterday I played CSGO. It's been almost 1 year since I touched the game, and well, it's so good. Crazy how CS2 got so much input delay. It's pretty notable if you just look at these clips side by side of CS2 and CSGO, how much smoother CSGO looks. And I'm sure if all of us hopped onto CSGO right now instead of CS2, we could tell it. But obviously, CS2 has been out for a year now, so I feel like most people have kind of forgotten. Floppy literally made a post about this a month ago, stating that there seems to be so much delay in the headshot animation and the body falling. Something to do with subtick probably. And the funny thing about subtick is, no one seemed to like it at the beginning and the release of CS2. Everybody was like, why? Why would you release subtick when you could just do 128 tick? It's like fixing something that isn't really broken. Nobody wanted subtick. And it seems to have harmed the game a lot more than making it better. And it seems to be the main issue for most of the problems in the game right now. It's been a year at this point, and the same complaints since day one are still there. The game just doesn't feel as responsive as CSGO did. Now, the next complaint is a lack of updates and transparency from Valve. Now, this is pretty typical from Valve. They've never let the community know what's going on behind the scenes, and they've let the data miners kind of do the work, but it's so frustrating at this point. Games with 20k plus elo tend to have cheaters. I didn't believe this until I got to 20k, and literally the very first game had a cheater on my team. He wasn't that obvious, and I think that seems to be something that is slightly being worked on in CS2. The obvious cheaters are being dealt with, but this guy was very clearly wall hacking, pre-firing people around the corners, only scoping in when they're shift walking right next to him, stuff like that. And that's what you're getting in the majority of 20k plus games. So there's no reason to grind, as you just get cheaters. Matchmaking is pretty unplayable at a high level. We're still on season 1, no idea when it's going to end or new content that's coming with hopefully a season 2 that comes eventually. Really, the only thing we know is confirmed is keychains most likely, which is fine, I guess, but why isn't the actual game being fixed, or why isn't there more reasons for people to play it? There's no reason to grind, you just get cheaters at high levels. Not to mention, Overwatch was supposed to be added back in the game many months ago. It was literally in the patch notes that they give it to trusted members of the community, or whatever exactly they said, and it's still not there. Why was it in the patch notes? Just nothing about the updates in this game makes sense. Now, the CS community kind of feeds on itself since the game has a lot of replayability despite being fundamentally not great, and there really isn't a reason to grind it, but it does always hook you back in. But with a record low case opening numbers per month since the beginning of CS2, a player count that's still relatively high, but in the past month seen a significant dip, and literally the entire community complaining about the game, whether it be on Twitter or even when you're actually in game, it's just frustrating. Another issue is the ranking in competitive. Putting separate ranks for each map is just a strange decision. The recent update that made ranking up easier made it slightly better, but it's like, if I'm the top 1% in Premier and getting placed Silver and Gold Nova on some maps and ranking up once every other game, it's just not fun for balanced matches. I went 30-5 in a Vertigo game the other day. It's like, that isn't fun for the other team. Someone's skill level in the game isn't going to be a global on Mirage and then a silver on Inferno. They're still a good player. Despite it being a different map, your skill level doesn't drop off that much. It just makes for unbalanced matches, pointless grinding, and it's just another strange addition to the game that fundamentally does not make sense. There's no reason for it. And if there's eventually missions or operation missions tied to specific maps, it's just not going to be fun for a large portion of the community, I'd say, because, I mean, then you're actually going to have people grinding the maps, and the matches are going to be super unbalanced. Because all of the good players, on face it, they aren't playing matchmaking, so when they hop in for the first time and they're placed in silver lobbies, it's not going to be fun for the silver team. Now, another thing is Danger Zone. It's another thing that absolutely disappeared with absolutely no word about it. Sure, it was one of the least played, if not the least played game mode in CSGO, but why would you not see a single word about it? One of CS2's biggest issues is that the game initially had way less content than CSGO did and was in a much worse state, and still kinda is, and we do have less content. Map creators seem to be completely left out of the conversation. As you could see, cache is still being worked on over a year into CS2. Overpass has completely disappeared from the map pool to make the map pool what's probably the worst it's been since the game's release. By the game's release, I mean like Counter-Strike's release, not even CS2's. Train, featured as a touchstone map in the original CS2 trailer that they dropped, meaning it should only get a few fundamental changes, has been completely out of commission for around a year at this point, and there's no words about it as well. Nothing about the development of this game makes any sense. Now, tie this in with the fact that there's constantly new bugs being found that might be getting abused for months on end, and no one knows about it until they come to light suddenly on Reddit or Twitter. There's the jump bug that's still in the game, and that's been there since day one, where you get caught on absolutely nothing. Very, very frustrating. There's just so much stuff that has yet to be fixed. There's a bug where you could look into walls that was in the game since day one and only recently got fixed. So it's like, how many more bugs like this are out there? How many people are abusing them until they actually come to light? What is Valve putting resources into right now? Is there a new operation coming? What has Valve spent the past year doing? Because as of now, it literally seems like next to nothing. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this strange game and what issues you've run into. Of course, check out Skins Monkey as well. Get that free $5 bonus with that link at the top of the description. One good thing about CS2 is there is some good looking skins, so be sure to take advantage of that. But for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.